Grant, you got the heart rate down after Saturday?
Yeah, no, straight after the game we're on to the next one. We obviously enjoyed walking around the pitch and showing our appreciation to our fans for not only for that game but for the season and the support they've given us, and it's been really good. So really pleased with that at the end of the game. But now our focus is on the next game.
Just looking back to Saturday, I think what was particularly impressive, the relentlessness in the second half, but also the control in that. It's easy in that situation to kind of not panic, and start launching everything forward and lose kind of the shape that you got. But everything seemed to be really sort of controlled, and that's what ultimately got you back in the game.
Yeah, it's a big thing how we want to play. Obviously having that control in the game, whether it's in possession, out of possession. So the boys were very good in the second half. Every one of them contributed to the effort of the team. The fans drove us on, and we ultimately got our rewards in the end, which is really pleasing.
This run, encompassing it all, it's seen a bit of everything, hasn't it? There's been times when you've had to battle, there've been times when you've had to show real character, as you did on Saturday. That you must be really pleased with what you've seen, a bit of everything from your team.
Yeah, it's been. We've had some tough games, and we've kept coming back, and particularly when teams have got spells against us, which they always will. We've shown a real edge and determination about us to defend first and foremost, but then also to go on the other end and score. And I think during this spell we've scored quite a few goals. Defensively we've been strong. So it's been pleasing. But like I say, it's after the game we spoke about the game literally for a minute or so, just to tell the boys well done on the comeback, etc. But the focus shifted quickly for me and the players, straight after the game onto this game on Tuesday night. You
mentioned that focus, and you've obviously sat in front of cameras and things like that and been pushed on the position in the table and what it might mean and what it might lead to. You've kept that focus all along, but the players have as well whenever they've sat down, and just in general that run wouldn't happen without that focus. How special has that buy-in been from the players, that nobody's really getting carried away with anything, and it is very much sticking to task?
That's the key. The key is nobody's getting deteriorated away from the bigger picture. The bigger picture is just the next game for us. That's it. You get asked in press conferences, and I have obviously all season, about your position in the league, but it's ultimately where you finish after 46 games is where people can determine whether you've had a good season, an average season, or a bad season. We really made a huge ploy to the boys to say, look, listen, let's focus on the next one. That's it. Let's just focus on the next one. There's no point of looking ahead to what could be or what could happen or how they getting on, etc., etc. It's more about just focusing on us, do your job, making sure we understand how we want to go about the game, understand the opposition strengths and weaknesses, but ultimately just put our game onto the pitch. And I think we've done that on a consistent basis now for a number of weeks.
You touched on it as well. The lap of appreciation at the end of the game and going saying thank you to the supporters. They've really answered your calls in recent weeks, to get behind the boys. Yeah, they've been outstanding, and when we're 2-0 down on Saturday, they kept going and they kept pushing us on. It was an amazing feeling. I think once we got that first goal, you could sense the change again. The atmosphere, it got louder, it got noisier. It's probably the loudest I've heard our stadium since I've been a manager at this football club. It was magnificent. So we're just pleased we could send them home happy. Plenty of them coming down to Colchester on Tuesday night. What are you expecting from this game?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Danny's certainly got them going. We've watched quite a bit of them now, all different type of games and opposition they've played against, and they've got good players. I know they'll be well coached, well drilled. Danny's obviously been there and done it, and always done a very good job at any club he's been at. So we know this will be a tough game, very tough game away from home. I watched them last Tuesday night against Grimsby. They were dominant. First half probably should have been 2-3 goals up. Grimsby had a bit of a spell against them, but then they scored. Colchester took the game away from them with a Kennedy's goal. So it's tough. It'll be a tough game. They've got good individual players, a lot of players that I like in their team and their squad. So we're going to have to be at our very best to win the game.
You mentioned it after Saturday's game in terms of altering plans for the build-up to this one, in terms of travelling down on the Monday. How important is it to get the preparation right for this one, given a long midweek?
It's more what the players want, really. Initially we had down to go down on the Tuesday morning and maybe have some day beds, which I'm not really a fan of. I'm also not a fan of going the day before, because I still think it's a long day the next day. But look, it's striking the balance. The players have obviously asked me, can we go the day before, which is not a problem, and that is what we'll do. But ultimately it's about making sure we get the players best prepared for the game, and if that's going down the day before and making sure we get a good night's sleep, etc., then so be it. But ultimately it's what we do when the game kicks off at 7:45.
In terms of the players, everybody come through Saturday okay?
Yeah, everyone's good. Everyone's come through the game, which is pleasing. So yeah, it'll be similar sort of squad, and when I say squad, 21, 22 players that will travel with us to Colchester.